What's going on out there, everybody? We are back for another summertime rendering. There have been strange things going on, and they're going to be even stranger come Friday, but that's for a whole nother segue. We're talking about episode 6 of summertime rendering. I have here Lucas and Matt. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on? Happy to be here.
Hey, Matt, we missed you.
Hey man, that after watching the episode over the weekend, I was like, "Crap, man! I really missed that discussion." I was like, "Dang, God!"
You definitely did. So I felt like it'd be good to give you a little bit of time of your emotional thoughts on the 5th episode. Not too long, but what's your emotional thought on episode 5? And then we're gonna go ahead and get into episode 6 because episode 6, as every episode is insanity. So yeah, what was your emotions on episode 5? That's a meme. Everybody screenshot that. That's a meme.
That's my emotional reaction to episode 5. I sat there like this, just kind of like trying to, because I thought I had a whole thing going on, and then I was like, man, what? And then people coming out the sky. We had this fake Inuyasha person coming out the sky. And yeah, man, I can't. I'm still trying to process episode 5. If I'm being honest with you, that's just my emotion. That's my emotion. That's my reaction.
So, in other words, episode 5 broke Matt with what it was.
I was bewildered, if you will.
I fully justify that. We talked in length about 5, and I don't think we still didn't weave through everything. And I saw the episode twice. That was the first one I did twice. Ironically, I did the same thing for this episode, but episode 6.
You just have to keep it short, so that's the only way I know how.
No, it's fine.
Once I start going, we about to be here for like another.
It's okay. It's okay. Maybe we'll do another one off of that. But yeah, episode 6 now. Shin is officially back, but that's not the front and center person of this episode. This episode really centers around a person that has technically 2 names. You could call her Hizuru. You can call her by her pseudonym, which was, I'm going to find it. Matt, help me.
Ryunosuke.
Oh, man.
It's Ryunosuke.
And it goes through like the moment that she gets off the boat. And it's evident as soon as she gets off the boat, like she's looking for Shin. She thought that's what she heard, but then she kept moving. She's like, "No, that can't be Shin." And the whole entire time, she's starting to see certain things. She sees the person that was on the boat, like, "Oh yeah, he's a shadow." I think she goes and identifies a couple different things, and then eventually she gets to the funeral and realizes, "Whoa, hold on, this ain't right." So, what did you guys feel about episode 6? Because every single episode adds more. It adds more information and escalates each question, because you think you know what's going on. Because the end of the last episode, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it Ushio that was walking down the sand, and we were like, "Wait, how is she there? Is she traveling to time?" Well, we saw somebody walking through the sand, but we never seen Ushio this entire episode, so we don't know where that time gap is, but. As far as this episode, what do you guys feel about it?
Again, he does it again.
So okay, so
I did.
So I will. I'll start. First thing to note is that what we were watching were fan subs. So there are a couple things. At least what I saw. I don't know what you guys saw, but what I saw was fan subs. So it's like some things are kind of lost in translation. I have to really see what it is, because Japanese can be a little finicky depending on who's translating it. But the episode in general, I felt was very important, and it was interesting because I felt like if we went another episode without me getting certain answers, especially about her and what's going on with her, we still don't know quite everything quite yet. But we're starting to get a little bit of an understanding. Okay, she has a method for these shadows. She understands how they operate. She understands more about them. Obviously, she's working with the old man that we saw a few episodes ago, right? Like
she's the lab. That's right.
Right? Yeah, like they've been working together, right? And they at least they know something about each other. And we found out that she was a native to this island, that she grew up here. And apparently she's a novelist. Like there's a lot of things that we're getting to learn about her, which is just adding a little bit more spice to everything else. Because since this is not about episode 5, I'm not going to rehash too much of that. But it was just really, it was it was just really good to see some of those things start to unravel within her, and especially understand the fact that she's a native there too, and the fact that she was able to recognize how these shadows, how do you spot them, and we start to see little details. Even Shin starts to remember, okay, they move their shadows because they don't want to get touched by it. That's where they live. That's how they operate. So it was just really interesting to see a lot of that. We need to see new episode ASAP. Yeah, like this right here. It was it was really interesting. We're getting a lot more information on that. Yeah. And first of all, Shin did a stupid. Shin did a stupid. Why would he go up to the same girl and speak loudly in front of all three of them and be like, hey, watch out for these shadows because they're coming to they might come and attack you. I didn't think that was a smart move by him because they started suspecting him.
But no, he did that. Well, the way that I took it is that he already knows that if he doesn't play it like that, that they're gonna suspect him. So he was kind of like trying to go through the same exact motions as though he did the first time, because we didn't see before. He already did the exact same thing. Remember when we saw like a moment where he was talking to them?
The only thing that's confusing me is initially the first time, because he said he's trying to do everything that he did before. Mm-hmm. The first time that he got to that island, he didn't know anything about shadows until the old man spoke to him about shadows. And then that's when he started to learn more things. On his second reboot is when he started to, become aware of the fact that there are these things out there. The very first time that he went to the funeral, he didn't know anything about shadows.
When he did that with the family, I don't think he knew all of them were shadows.
That's what I'm saying. He only knew the girl was.
Yeah. So when he said something about shadows, I don't think he thought that that's when the girl was taken as a shadow.
Right, because he never knew when. He knew that the parents were dead.
Yeah, he never
went to the house.
He never knew when it happened, but I'm assuming at that point in time, because he warned her basically a shadow could come after her.
Right.
So he didn't know she was a shadow at that time when he told her.
But he said it right in front of them, though. It wasn't like if they weren't next to him.
Yeah.
They could hear that, and they obviously did.
Yeah. But I don't think he knew the parents was
he didn't know the parents were shadows.
He didn't know any. Like Shinpei is stuck in a situation where he's attempting to relive this moment, but he's reliving a moment where he doesn't actually understand who already knows what shadows exist or who's already a shadow.
But see, this is just what's confusing me though, because he said he's having conversations with people as if he's having it with them for the first time.
Yeah.
That conversation that he's having with the little girl to me didn't seem like a new conversation, because if it isn't a new conversation, then it doesn't make sense to me, because why would in his initial conversation with her would he bring up the fact about shadows? He didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think this is a really new conversation.
That's a new conversation that he's having. And to me, having new conversations already with knowing the fact that anybody could be a shadow, to me is stupid to go up to people that you haven't already established contact with already, that you know are safe, to have a conversation about shadows. To me, it shouldn't even matter.
He's attempting to warn people ahead of time, not understanding some of the people he's attempting to warn are already shadows. Because if you look at it, he's just not as inept in picking up on who is a shadow or not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He waited until the little ant crawled across and realized, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been telling them about shadows, because all of them are shadows already.
Yeah, but
he'll get it again when he gets shot next time.
But no, I think though
he's divulging information that he shouldn't. As you said, I think that's the best way to put it.
That's basically what I mean.
he hasn't developed. I'm not going to say her name right.
Mia?
No.
Rinosuke?
Oh,
Rinosuke?
Rinosuke. There you go. I'm gonna remember it that way. Rinosuke, in a way that she can just pinpoint who a shadow is. Also, if you pay attention to the way she operates as I can't trust anybody.
Right?
Yeah.
Shinpei does not operate that way. He's way too free telling or asking people about being a shadow.
That's what I'm trying to say.
The conversation she had with Miho, like, what color panties did you have on yesterday?
So about that too, right? About that whole thing. I was telling my wife as we were watching, I'm like, man, this is so freaking weird. I'm like, look, I want to hope to God that they're showing this for a reason, that they're not just doing it because they're trying to be weird. I really want to hope that they're showing this because it's going to have something to do with the plot. And the whole panty conversation, because I'm like, I'm really hoping to God, because I'm like, they're finding, because the first time they did it, I'm like, okay, here we go. And then the second time they did it, I'm like, okay, what is okay? And then the third time they did it, when they kept showing her panties over and over again, I'm like, what?
And that's why they.
I'm like, this is probably fan service for the little teenage boys watching this. And then I'm like, okay, I really hope to God that this has something to do with the actual plot. Because it's kind of getting annoying to me. I was getting a little annoyed. And then when he brought it up and he was like, oh, what color panties were you wearing? I was like, thank God they brought it up. Because like they were showing it. And then that's when, in a weird way, he pieced together that the other one was wearing different color panties that he so happened to see as he was dying, and caught the glimpse of that. So it was interesting that they found a way to incorporate it into the plot. But I know I'm kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself with that.
No, that's perfect, because it does bring back the bounce back of that plot point, because I think we said it all in the first episode. Like, well, why did they have to show her panties going up that way? Yeah. And now you bring it back to this is why they had to show her panties going up, because it only makes sense that if she has on a different color, she was copied the day before and not today. Which again, it's smart move for him to figure out Miho's shadow. It just isn't smart how he's operating with anyone else being a shadow.
So, all right. So now, man, I was gonna try to take this. We went all the way around, so I don't know how to do this in a short amount of time. A question. So, in around the second episode, there was a conversation that Shin had with the little girl and her family. Right? Y'all remember that?
Shouldn't have the little girl. Yeah, in this episode, the new conversation that we saw.
No.
You said
in the second episode. In the second episode, Shin was looking and he saw himself talking to the little girl randomly to the side, and he didn't understand why he was having a conversation with the little girl. And I can't remember. I was like, why is that happening? Like, why is he?
I don't remember that. No, I'd have to go back and look at that.
This is when we got the complete confusion of what was happening at the funeral, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is when we first saw Rishiro. Am I saying that right? I don't think Renosuke. There you go. I'm gonna keep on saying it that way so I can remember. Renosuke, when he first saw her in the funeral, when she was in the corner like she was hiding. And then that's when we saw one Shinpei look like he was having multiple conversations, but he could see him having those multiple conversations. So we were wondering what the heck is going on here.
That's the reason why I brought that up.
But then it also brings up another situation. I understood that when we saw Renosuke go to Yushiro's coffin and she reopened it, where were all the flowers and stuff that was in it initially?
When are you talking about?
That was episode 2.
Right here.
At the funeral in episode 2, like Yushiro is covered in flowers. Here, when she goes to open the casket up, none of that is there.
No, that's true. That was a detail.
Here it is, right here. I'm gonna bring it up because I'm bringing it up for a reason, because I feel like there's a time traveling situation. There's a time traveling loop that's disconnected from different people. Here it is, right here. This is from episode 2, right here. Now, Ryunosuke is looking from her vantage point, and she sees Sin talking to the little girl, the mom and dad, right? We never saw this conversation actually happen.
But then we did see it when they came back out and approached Shinpei about it.
No, but I'm saying that I feel like with this is the first time that he had that conversation with them that we're seeing just now in the 5th episode, with the 6th episode. That's why I said it's so weird.
We just don't know. At that point, we don't know what conversation he's having with them.
Right.
Maybe they placed it out of order. You're trying to say, like, maybe we saw a glimpse of episode 5 before episode 5 happened.
There's conversation, in my opinion, there's conversations that are happening that they're not giving any context, and they're not telling us the dialogue until it actually happens. Much like what happened with the sheriff or the cop in the restaurant, that we didn't understand why he had two different conversations until later on. And I don't know if they're trying to throw us off, or is it from Shinpei's point of view, from his vantage point, he doesn't know from a time standpoint when a person was changed, because it's still July 22nd, right?
Yeah, by the second episode, he didn't. In the second episode, he didn't fully understand shadows that much.
Right, and it wasn't until the 23rd that he knew for a fact. On the 23rd, that's when he went to old girl's house, saw her there, and then realized both the parents were dead. So from his perspective, the parents ain't dead yet. I can let them know what's going on.
But no, not in this episode. I know it sounds confusing, but in this episode, he should have had the understanding that eventually they change, and I don't know when they're going to change, so I shouldn't open my mouth up. But as it pertains to episode 2, when they're having that conversation, it's just a play on a conversation takes place. No matter what part of the future you change or the past you change, a conversation still takes place.
That's a good point. That's a really good point, because I didn't even think about it like that. But anyway, before all that, so what did you guys think about the novelist / shadow expert and how she moves? How did she get connected with the old man? The old man is fascinating, because now I question why in the first episode did he divulge information to Mio and Shin about the shadows in the first place? Why did he decide to divulge that information? Because it seems like he kind of moves much like she does. So why did he tell Shin? And in this episode, he was like trying to put Shin through the ringer
to make sure he wasn't a shadow.
Right.
Could it be because he walked up on them in the first episode? Because clearly now we see, as long as you walk up on them and you step on their shadow, if it does not move, you're not a shadow.
You know what? I'm gonna go back. I'm going right back, because I didn't even think about that.
He did do that, didn't he?
He rode up on them. He rode up because they were sitting down.
Step in the shadow.
Yeah, as long as I step on your shadow and it doesn't move, I know you're not a shadow.
Yeah, hold on. I'm pulling it up right now. Ooh, yep. Matter of fact, I see where his feet are. He's right there on them. But the weird thing is, hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. Go ahead, keep going.
But if he's right there on him and he does that, then he knows that they're not a shadow. So then he can freely talk about whatever this threat is that's coming into this village.
The history of the Shadow War and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So here's where he is in proximity of them. They're in an area where they're kind of like under shade. So I don't know. I feel like he knows more than he's letting on. And I also don't know, is this the second day? Because at this point, he would have had to have had a conversation with the novelist by now anyway.
Are you sharing the screen or?
Oh, my bad. Hold on.
Yeah, we can't see anything when she,
Yeah, so this is where he's at. Man, this is actually a really detailed show, because he does actually cross paths with them, but they're in the shade. They're completely in the shade. He never steps on their shadow. But I don't know. I don't know where he fits in with this. And the fact that we're starting to question character motivations, and this is still within the same amount of sequence. Like, it's only been technically 3 days that's lapsed.
Yeah.
But it's gone back through different cycles and added stipulations that are exploding. Because now I think that he can't get anywhere further than the dock at this point, right? Is that correct, Lucas? That at this point now he
can't go back further. It inches up a little bit more.
Yeah. So right now he's stuck at a point of right after
he's at the water.
He rescued Miho out, or Miho rescued him out the water.
So the little girl is gone, no matter what he does at this point.
Yes.
He can't.
He can't save her.
He can't
Remember though, he was never able to save her. The little girl, as they point out in this episode, she was turned from a shadow when Ushio attempted to save her. So Miho saved a shadow.
Right. That's the other thing. That's right. Now, why though? That's what I was gonna ask you guys. Why was it that she broke protocol and deceived them into believing that she's a real little girl?
Remember though, she was gonna die. So I think they said at the end there that she copied the little girl as the little girl was drowning.
Oh.
So when she copied her when she was drowning, she killed the little girl and took the place.
But who strangled Ushiro though? So how did Ushiro get strangled?
But remember they said, well, it's a shadow that can create other shadows. So the little girl can create another shadow. It ain't got to be her choking her. She can just create another shadow that's going to do it.
But I thought it was Mio's shadow that was creating other shadows, though. Because we saw it in this episode that she created another.
She copied the father.
But then how many of them can create shadows? Because the little girl clearly created the shadow of the parents.
Right.
Man, look, man. I'm just sitting here just like, why, man? Like
it's a lot of this show has a lot of moving pieces in it, and it's slowly but surely giving you the characters to open up the pieces. Like this was one of the last big pieces is this episode, because you needed to see her backstory.
Yeah.
To see who she is, why she known, why does she know what shadows are, and then how can you fight shadows moving forward?
Right.
I already love her character, man. She's great.
She's great. Precise. She's on it. But I feel like she's also got an ability. So the 5th episode, me and Lucas were talking about it. That you remember when she got shot at the first time, and she saw a vision of her head getting blown off.
Yep, and she like dodged,
and then she dodged just quick enough to get grazed. That's not normal. And I don't know how or why she has that ability. But they did do something interesting, because we knew that something happened to her I guess her sister. And I think this is the only clue that we've gotten, because they alluded that this is just like such and such time before. It seems like it's happening again. So maybe this is her first encounter with the shadows. And she's been training to, I guess, protect people against them ever since, maybe.
Yeah.
So you know the vibe she kind of gives me, low key. I know Sam knows what I'm talking about. She kind of reminds me a little bit of a variant of Maki from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
They give me the same energy, honestly. They're about their business. They're very they know a lot about who they're fighting, their opponent. They're very precise. They're skillful with many things. Like, she's using a sledgehammer. She's like knowing how to set up and like track these shadows, figure out their patterns. Like, and obviously the glasses make them look similar, but in terms of like their attitudes, they're very similar and like that. And I think I like that a lot about her characters is how her planning skills are just amazing, and how calm she can be in certain situations. Obviously, she even when she was crying, she was still calm in a way. Because like she was crying because that was a natural reaction from her body, but in her mind and in her composure, she was calm. And that was very interesting to see. That was an interesting detail too. It was like finding out her friend is dead, and she's like, okay, she's getting mad, and she's like, okay, calm down.
Right.
So,
we'll talk about why she left the island. They don't fully go into.
Do you have an opinion on that, Lucas?
Oh man.
With this show, there's no telling. Part of the opinion actually could be from whatever tragic event happened, that it was from a shadow, and that's what made her leave.
Right.
But now she's coming back, and remember, I think it's one point when she says, "I'm sorry" or "I apologize because I should have picked up on this sooner."
She did say that. Who did she say that to, though? Was it the person on the phone, or was it?
It was about Shinpei though.
Yeah.
So could it be a situation where she lived through a shadow attack before, but because she was in her own mess, she let it slide?
I mean,
so wait, do you think it's possible that she was a time traveler too at some point? Because why would she even know? I mean, it's one thing to know about shadows; it's another thing to know about people that can go through time.
But I was gonna mention this too, though. She also mentioned that because this, as we found out, this island isn't the only island that has shadows.
Yes, it's not, because they clearly point that out.
She says that these shadows are different than the ones we normally deal with.
And then
I feel like she's a contract killer, like a contract
killer for shadows.
For shadows, yeah. I feel like she might work for an organization that specifically goes out, kind of like, like, I don't know, like the Demon Slayer Corps, or like, introducing guys in with the sorcerers, right?
Yeah.
Like they go out for, to get a specific target that not many people have to deal with, and they're the only ones capable of dealing with them. So I feel like that's definitely the situation going on with her, and Shinpei has some connection, and they specifically talk about that eye in episode 5.
When we get the demon in the sky, and they talk about
get the demon Inuyasha child in the sky. Yes.
So then, could it be a situation where she understood that he was a time traveler based solely off of her knowledge of the eye?
I mean, I don't know, because how would she even know about the eye in general?
That's
right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I have a thing about that. Maybe she has dealt with other time travelers before, and she understands that if someone, because remember when she died, she said, "When you find me, say my name, and I will save you." So obviously she's not going to know, her past self is not going to know that she said that in a different version of the loop.
Yeah, exactly.
But she knows protocol. She knows that no matter what situation, if you encounter a time traveler, let them know that they need to do this. So if you experience it at any point in your life, that means you have already experienced this person before.
And that's why she says, say my name, because there'd be no way you should know my actual name.
There's no way you should know my name.
Unless you are a time traveler.
So even if she didn't remember that situation,
you say it's like a
knows
protocol.
Situation. Yeah, I mean, she knows the protocol. She hasn't experienced that situation before.
So that means she's had this happen before with a time traveler, and she said the same thing. If I give you my name and you say it, you could only be from the future, because there's no, or you can only be reliving the past, because there would be no way you would know.
And we had definitely met each other before, and keep in mind, she also gave the guy the phone and said, if this phone rings, let me know. And when
she kind of knew the call was coming in.
She had a feeling that, look, if I met a time traveler here, I don't know who it is. I have no idea if I met him yet, but if I meet him or it, if I had already met them, and I've successfully accomplished establishing contact with them, they should approach me via this method, regardless of the situation.
Yeah.
So she came up, and said, "Hey, I love that you wrote this book. I love that. How'd you know my name? I never told anybody my name." And then that's when she was able to put, okay, we've met each other before. Cool. You're a time traveler.
It's just, the thing is weird. They have to have some kind of system or machine that can identify a person that's a time traveler, because she had his name before that even went down.
But is it just because she understood?
I don't know about that though.
I don't think that she knew of him beforehand, but I don't think she had his name.
She did. That was the first thing she said.
Are you sure?
Which episode was it? Is it episode 5?
But is it because she said Shinpei because he said his name and then he said
no.
It was like episode 5. Like she was like bringing up like Shinpei such and such. Matter of fact, even in this episode, she put his whole name out there before she even heard. Like,
let's not forget though. Remember, everything that happened at the funeral will continue to happen regardless of. And remember that her friend is the one that actually mentioned Shinpei. for the very first time to her. So that's how she got that name. Because he already said, "Hey, Shinpei," and he's like, "Oh yeah, you never met Shinpei because he came. I took him in when you left the island."
Yep.
And then that's when that had happened.
No. Not in this episode. Hold on, I'll show you. Give me 1 second. So, crap. This is gonna suck. I'm gonna do it real quick. All right. So here, bear with us, everybody.
Look at. We're trying to dig. We're trying to dig way too deep in this. It's confusing because it's meant to be confusing right now. Of who's shadows, who's not shadows, about them attempting to figure out before it's too late who's shadows and who's not shadows. All we know is Shinpei is learning on the go.
Got it. So this episode, when is this? Yeah, there it goes. So right here, let me pull it up for you guys. Yeah, here when the Mio, that's the normal Mio, is going down, and she's walking from the boat. And Mio's on her bike. She's riding down, and she sees Mio going down. Shinpei's already at the dock already.
Yeah,
he knows
already waiting down there for Shinpei.
Okay, so at this point, you go here. And he's like, "Are you tired from your trip, Shin?" And then right here, that's all she heard was Shin.
Yeah,
that's all she heard. And then she said to herself, Shinpei. And then after that, once he got hit, she mentioned the whole entire name. That's why I said that for whatever the reason, she's got his name. And I don't know where from, but that's why I was like, maybe there's some kind of like machine she is a reason why she's supposed to be going there for him. And I don't really know why.
Or maybe she also can maybe she can have remnant effects of the loop itself, where she might have fractures of the experiences, but not necessarily be able to piece them together.
Same thing we questioned about
Ushio. That's the same thing I was thinking, because it's no way. Like Ushio came back on the sand in a different place than she did before, because that was like 3 days later, and it was at the festival. And
this is super confusing.
And Ushio was crying as though what just happened she just experienced. But she's a shadow. Now that Ushio, whatever Ushio, hold on. So in this episode, man, we gotta get ready to go. In this episode,
you see how he's so confused, Matt? He's trying to put it together.
No. The cop, I'm gonna call her the novelist. The novelist went to the crowd and was like, I need to see the body. And she pushed the skin of the body. So when she pushed the skin of the body, it looked like it revealed like marks.
It revealed the marks on her neck. That's why she
choking.
Yeah.
I think it was makeup she might have rubbed off.
Yeah, she was rubbing because
she said who prepared the body.
And that's when the dad almost gave it up to the doctor that did it.
Can we talk about the man at the end of episode 5 that had a whole shadow in his house, though?
That's what I thought we were going to get to.
We were talking about that last time.
What's up? I'm mad I missed that conversation, because like, what's going on with that?
We brought that up, and that's something else that to think about is what all of that means, and is it fully connected to everything that's going on here with Shinpei?
Right. It's gotta be. But this is a weird thing, though. Who is Shinpei's parents, and how did they say that he died? His parents died.
They said it was like, I think it was some type of accident. I don't know if it was like a boating accident or some type of river accident. It was some type of accident. They said that's how they died.
And then that's when they island to take him in.
That's so sus,
I think his parents were killed by shadows. Personally,
that's sus to me.
I think so too.
Very sus.
Because look at this picture right here.
It is evil doctor, bro. This man's a villain, dog.
Hey, I looked the whole time you're thinking that you see him.
Villain.
But not so. The thing is, why is Alan having a conversation with this ninja, bro?
Because he's still friends with him, most likely.
No, what I'm saying is that
is this the Shadow Alan though?
No. That's not the Shadow Island yet. The Shadow Island at this point hasn't been created yet. This is the island that's real life. He's talking to the
this
doctor.
is the island, and
It's
the doctor
blonde
is
Tom Selleck.
So this doctor is what you call his father.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Either it's Shin's father or Shin was created by this doctor.
No, not Shin.
Whoa! Where were you going, Sam?
I say,
Sam, where were you going?
I'll tell you where I was going in a second.
The doctor is Shinpei friend's father. The guy, when he said my dad is the one who's seen the body, because my dad's the doctor. Tells you that in episode 2.
Yeah, the redhead guy. That's his dad.
Yeah, that's his dad.
Yeah, because he said his dad was the one that did
the physician over the body.
The physician on the autopsy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Alan will talk to him. That's technically his friend, most likely.
I mean, they're all friends though. They all grew up in the same hood.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's a small island that everyone knows each other. So unless you know about shadows, and so far we've only seen the old man and the woman who knew.
I grew up on a small island. We all kind of knew each other, and everybody knows somebody's cousin. Everybody knows somebody's mom. Like similar to this, like you might see a little kid that's running around their neighborhood. You might not know them, but you might have seen them grow up, and you might know their parents or something. Like similar to how Rinosuke was like, hey, I didn't really know Ushio Mio like that, but like, Ushio, I seen her grow up. I seen her running around the restaurant asking me to read her book and stuff. So I mean, I can personally attest that everybody knows each other on islands. Like I said, I grew up in an island at 100,000 people. Okay,
everybody knows each other.
Everybody knows each other. Everybody knows,
and that's what it comes across here is that they all know each other. So that's not going to be the angle.
But trust me, everybody had the same.
Everybody knows each other, and everybody trusts each other because they're all from the same place.
But isn't it weird coincidence that when she leaves, Shin shows up, and then when Shin leaves, she comes back? Because they never, for whatever reason, the way that they kind of put it is that she was there, she left for whatever unforeseen reason. She remembers taking care of Mio and Ushio, but she don't remember Shin. And Shin I guess wasn't with them at that point, and that's when they started breaking down what happened to his parents. But it's just a weird coincidence that they never intersected until the boat. Which is whatever.
All I know is that Alan had two baby mamas. That's all I know. You don't gotta explain some things because
hold up.
Mio's a whole. Nah. You gotta look at older Mio. Mio is a lot. She got a little bit more melanin. My man Alan was with a sister, okay?
But
she got a little bit more melanin than Ushio. Alan got to do some explaining.
Look, first off,
Miho was in the sun a little bit more.
I don't know about all that.
All I know is one of my sons is very, very light. The other one is.
I'm about to say you're not making an argument better, Sam. You're not making an argument better. You're actually making Matthew's point. You're literally making Matthew's point.
Oh, I ain't got time for y'all.
I'm just saying.
But again, it's just that this show is bouncing around, and it's purposely doing this. Bounce around a multitude of ideas. You're not going to be able to figure this out now. That's the goal.
It's intelligent. It's good.
Now,
I hope it's.
I want to say if this is 13 episodes, that I need quick. You need to get to the point of explaining.
It's 21 episodes actually.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I looked it up. No, I looked it up. Yes, search it up. Search it up. I looked it up. It's 21 episodes.
So
21 episodes.
So Lucas is here for a review 1 through 10, and then you could catch me back. Episode 19 and 21.
Thanks, Matt.
What I do,
I'm
a speaker of the truth. It's just
21. Is this a CW show? Why is it so many episodes in here?
It said 21 episodes, and I looked it up.
God,
I was like, no way.
Oh, dude, if it's 21 episodes, you are dragging the hell out of this story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I ain't seen anything on the episode.
I'll actually pull it up because I was actually looking at the Japanese release dates, and they were like, it's releasing in Asian Pacific areas for a total of 21 episodes.
So
yeah, but you know how like sometimes they'll do that, and it ends up being 2 different seasons.
It said a total of 21 subtitled episodes.
If it's 2 different seasons, it's still 21. Now you still gotta watch. It's still not giving you a conclusion.
What the? It is on Disney Plus. What the heck?
Yeah,
That's
no,
weird.
I was gonna tell you that. I
That's so weird.
I was actually watching it to sleep.
That's so weird.
I was actually watching it down there.
I'm about to say Alias is on Disney.
Yeah, no, actually,
I'm about
it's saying 25 episodes. Let me send you. Let me hold on. Let me send
Matt, stop. Stop.
let me
Stop.
send you
Matt, stop.
right here. It's right here. They have the release. They have the release schedule right here.
Matt. Stop.
This is going until.
Just stop. Just stop.
But I think you would not put me into unnecessarily long anything, because I'm going to get irritated around episodes. This is turning into Lost. I'm going to get irritated, and I do see it. It is 25 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Get the freak out of here! Like what? 25?
That is what.
Well, I wonder if this is going to be a one and done then. Because some of those, what they do is, Lucas, is they'll have like it's just one season, it's just one series, that's it, and that's the end of the entire thing. If it's 25 episodes, I'm almost believing that's it.
No, I think I think I can confirm that, because like with Cowboy Bebop, it was like with Watanabe, it was 25. It was like 23 episodes, and they completed the entire story as that. But the actual manga ended in February 2021. And it had 13 volumes, which means they're not even making any more of the manga. The manga's done. So it's a list. It says 25 episodes. So
it is saying 25 episodes.
If you go on Wikipedia, it says 25 episodes too. So
man, 20.
So the good thing is, Lucas, is that this is going to be a one and done.
That's still not good. It's 25 episodes, sir. I am like Matt when we were talking at the beginning, when Matt was like, man, we need to get like understanding of these characters now. At 20 episodes, they're telling me I'm not going to get understanding like episode 13.
Yeah.
It's a long time to get some understanding here.
That's the truth.
That's all I'm saying. Like there is it feels like a season of Stranger Things. It's no need for it to be this long. It's only this long to drag it out.
Again, I will defend the fact though, like things like Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop, they are one and done stories. Like from episodes 1 to 25, it may seem like it's a long thing, but the author creates the story that is meant to be done, completed, finished by 25th. You have all the answers.
Now, only reason this could change is if you get to episode 12 and you change to a different island.
I honestly think that they're gonna go not onto a different island. I think it's gonna be a jump in time, because it's way too much. It's too hot right now. Like the whole island got engulfed like a few episodes ago, and that was just the 5th episode.
I'm about to say, because if Shinpei constantly goes back and forth,
I'm actually curious. I mean, if you really think about it, really it's only 12 episodes.
You can look at as many ways as you lie to yourself and tell yourself.
12 where you get 12 episodes from?
Because he's trying to say it's an hour. So hours what? No.
It's less than 21 minutes.
No, that's not the case. That's not the case. You would not trick me.
I mean, technically, if you would have put it into like a 1 hour episode, it would be.
Yeah, I don't watch. No,
but anyway,
again, the story just needs to. If it's going to be 25 episodes, that's literally telling me the story's not going to pick up anytime soon. Which makes me wonder exactly what's going on with the story.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Exactly.
We're gonna see. If by halfway, we're gonna know. We're gonna find out.
You never know. I think it'll be a situation where they'll go to the past and show you the past. You can't possibly bring up this isn't the only island with shadows and they're not moving like normal shadows without bringing up what happened in the past with shadows.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to show her backstory, what actually happened to her. Like that'll be its own episode, showing how the Doctor and why the Doctor has a shadow.
Episode 37.
Chilling in his living room.
Sitting there.
It's gonna be
they watching the fireworks from the living room.
Exactly.
Like I That may be the most confusing thing, even more so than the little girl with one eye in the sky.
Inuyasha, yes.
I don't know why. I don't even know. I don't really know how Mother, I guess that's what they're calling her.
Mm-hmm.
How did she lose her eye to begin with? And how did Ushio
get a different eye?
Get it for Shinpei? Because Ushio, like the very first thing we see, Ushio gave him the gift of this other eye. And that's how he's been able to be a time traveler. But how did Ushio
get the eye?
Get the eye to give to him? Like, oh snap! Trying to take me out the game.
Love that.
That's them saying 25 episodes. Wait a minute. But again, it's to wrap this up because we're running around in circles here. With this episode in episode 6, what you're getting is a clear understanding of a new character. We're getting the character that we kind of wanted to know her backstory, especially it's 2 episodes ago or last episode when she had that explosive finale. So you wanted to see exactly who this person is. Now we're getting a clear picture of who she is and why she knows that shadows exist. So at this point, we're just looking forward to see where does this take her as a character? Where does it take Ushio as a character? Why is it still protect Miho over anything else? Like, these are the questions still left in this series that they need to explain to people.
Correct. And we will give you guys more content as it comes to us.
25 episodes.
I'll never forgive you for that, Matt. I ain't never gonna give you that.
Hey, if there's anything you respect,
I gotta pick up all the pieces now.
If anything you gotta respect is that I was honest.
There you go, Matt. No, I don't blame you, Matt.